Good morning, everyone. I am going to present item number 4 with the question: how do schools contribute to the unequal distribution of people into jobs in society so that more powerful members of society maintain the best positions and the less powerful groups are allocated to lower ranks in the society? Okay, so before we proceed to our point of view regarding this topic, we need to explain first consensus and conflict, and also its theories, because it helps us answer this question or view about the more powerful and the less powerful person in the society. Society cannot exist without conflict and consensus, which are prerequisites of each other. Thus, we cannot have conflict unless there is a prior consensus. Okay, we have here a conflict model. This one. Social structures produce patterns of inequality and the distribution of scarce resources. Okay, and then the conflict, and the last part of this model is reorganization and change. Okay, so uh, conflict theory sees social life as competition and focuses on the distribution of resources, power, and inequality. This perfect perspective is derived from the work of Karl Marx, no? A person who sees society as fragmented into groups that compete for social and economic resources. Social order is maintained by domination with power in the hands of those with the greatest political, economic, social resources. Okay, so let's go back to the model of conflict theory. This one. So the conflict model is concerned with the stresses and conflicts that emerge in the society because of competitions over scarce resources. It focuses on the inequalities that are built into social structures rather than emerge. Why? Because of personal characteristics. Let's go back to the questions. How do schools contribute to the unequal distribution of people into jobs in society so that more powerful members of society maintain the best positions and the less powerful groups are allocated into lower ranks in the society? Well, this question is linked with education system as its root. Education system may train individuals in specialties to fill needed positions to prepare for cultivated individuals, those who stand above the others because of their superior knowledge and reasoning abilities. Okay, so schools can reproduce inequalities by reproducing society's economic structures through socialization and reproducing and reinforcing existing cultural and hierarchical differences. This is where inequalities of wealth and power, and that is born with class distinctions perpetuated. That's my views and opinions with regards to the questions on how education contribute to the high rank people, or regarding with the bourgeoisie or those rich people, and with regards also to those proletariat or poor people, or we can say poor workers. That's it. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. This is Rodel Sagonoy from Bitilid AFA second year. Today, I am going to discuss or to give my reflections about the five statements or questions that I have been choose from the activity. First statement state that schools for the rich and the school for the poor, and how it perpetuates even further the gap between the rich and the poor. So we are talking about the schools, the rich and the poor. So as far as I know, we have two types of school, the private and the public. So when we talk about the private, this is the school that I think has a power in terms of money. They have a financial aspect. They can buy everything. They can provide what the school needs. So that is we considered as a rich school. And I think public school is considered is a poor school, because this school is need more about financial aspect that could use for maintenance, that could use for the needs of the school. And we should always consider that this is not about how the school function in terms of financial. We should consider the quality education that the school can give to the students or to the learners, because school is the second home for the students, and this and school considered as a main source of the knowledge, main source of ideas that could the students acquire from it and could apply for the future. We should always consider that whatever school is this or what kind of school is this, it's not a matter. What is the important is that the education, the quality education that could give to the students or to the learners, that the learners can apply for the future. The second question is about how can education address the class divide. So as I understand the question, it's all about the students, which is I think the students, there are students with disabilities and there are students with a good condition. So for me, it's not about the condition of the students. It's not about the with disabilities or something like that. It's about the purpose of education, because the main purpose of education is to educate everybody, because everyone deserves to educate, to have an education. And education is not about to critique someone's deed or to critique someone's performance. It's not about that. Education is about to give learning to the students that the learners can acquire, that can apply for the future. Even that student has with this, even that student has disability, it's not a matter. What is the important? That person or that student can acquire the process learning or the learning from this education, because even though you have disability, you are able to live the same with those students with normal condition. We should always consider that education is not about to choose someone that could impart the knowledge or impart the ideas. It's about to educate people, to educate students how to be a responsible and not to be a problem of the society.
Good day guys, I'm John Jubilim Ano, BTID AFA second year. So I choose number 3, which is explanation of 3 theories: the conflict theory, the structural functionalism, and the last is consensus theory. So first is conflict theory. So conflict theories are perspective in sociology and social psychology that emphasizes a materialist interpretation of history, dialectical method of analysis, a critical stance toward existing social arrangements, and political program of revolution or at least reform. The significance in the society is conflict theory focuses on competition between groups within society over limited resources. Conflict theory views social and economic institutions as tools of the struggle between groups or classes used to maintain inequality and dominance of the ruling class. The second is structural functionalism. So, structural functionalism, a school of thought according to each of the institutions, relationships, rules, and norms that together constitute a society, serves as a purpose. So, each is indispensable for the continued existence of the others and of society as a whole. The significance in the society is a perspective in sociology that sees society as a complex system whose parts work together to promote solidarity and stability. It asserts that our lives are guided by social structures, which are relatively stable patterns of social behavior. The last is consensus theory. So, consensus theory is a social theory that holds a particular political or economic system as fair system, and that social change should take place within the social institution provided. Consensus theory is concerned with the maintenance or continuation of social order in society. The significance of consensus theory in the society serves as a sociological argument for the furtherance and preservation of the status. One difference between consensus and conflict theories are the consensus emphasizes harmony, integration, and stability within society. Thank you, that's all.
Good day everyone. I am Myrna Marino from Bitilid AFA 2. Today I will be discussing question number 5, which is what is the role of education in maintaining the prestige, social, political, economic power, and position of the dominant group while maintaining the lower social position and status of the dominant subservient group. So, the reason why subservient group remains in its position of being in the lower social position and dominant people continue surging higher is not only because of education. A lot of factors is needed to be considered. However, it is inarguable that education has really a significant role as to why this situation happens. Most of the most of the members of the dominant group are really educated. Not only educated, they were products of elite schools, which are famous and decorated. And undeniably, this added up to the weight of even more pushes downward people who were educated, also but members of the subservient group. Yes, there are also people who belong in the subservient group who were educated. However, these people are still overpowered in terms of quality education from well-known schools which only members from dominant group can afford. The idea that graduates from elite and exclusive schools are more qualified and competent kills the hopes of the educated members of the subservient group. Regardless if you graduated from an equally standard schools like of the elite schools, if it is not recognized as one of the elite schools, it is still nothing. This notion has been doing impact until now, even worse. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sunshine R. Javier, Bitterwood Alpha second year student. My point of reflections number 6, using the lens of conflict theory and identify its issues and concern resulting from conflict. There is an unequal social, political, economic structures, patterns of equality of distributions of resources, the reorganization and changes. Society is characterized by class conflict, where the conflict theory assumes that the idea of the society or the idea of ruling class. The ruling class uses schools along with the media and by means of communication to disseminate the ideas that will support the continued rule. Given by the assumptions, the conflict perspective often focuses on the role school system may play in influencing public opinions or implementing social control. What are the characteristics, skills, values, attitude must be integrated in a school curriculum or program to address those concerns? Using social control. Social control refers generally to societal and political mechanisms or processes that regulates individuals and group behavior, leading to conformity and compliances to the rules of a given society, states, and social group. Schools can further goals of social control by socializing the students into behaving social acceptable ways. By the means of social control, students are taught the boundaries of acceptable ways of behavior. Some may consider this kind of socialization in a form of indoctrination. In any case, the social values that are present in individuals are the products of the informal social control. It is expressed by the society without explicitly of stating these rules, and expressed through norms, customs, and more. Individuals are socialized consciously or subconsciously. B. Using the lens of consensus theory and identify the shared beliefs and values of the people that provide stability and order in the society and therefore must be strengthened. Under consensus theory, the absence of conflict theory is seen as the equilibrium states of society, and there is a general, widespread agreement among all the members in a particular society about norms, values, rules, and regulations. Consensus theory is seek to determine what all people in a society have in common. As a result, they have different priority, value, and goals. The consensus theory emphasizes that the social order is through social norms and belief system of people.